For my field study this semester, I observed Miss Peggy Medlin at Cabot High School. She teaches 11th grade Advanced English and AP English. Her class was very self-motivated and focused a lot on assignments done individually. She was not very hands-on with the lesson plans, but that worked really well for those students who wanted to work at their own pace. The desks in her room were arranged in a U shape. The glow for the seating arrangement is that her teaching podium was visible from every seat in the room, as was the whiteboard and the projector screen. The teacher could walk down the aisle in the middle of the room, in the middle of the smaller U, and reach every desk in the room. This made passing out papers and assignments and graded papers far easier than any other seating arrangement I'd ever seen. The only thing I would change about the seating arrangement is maybe pulling the central desks in a little closer to each other, so that there would be more room to move between the rows of desks. As for her classroom management, Miss Medlin was able to quell her students with just a single glare. She didn't have any rules posted throughout the room, so I felt like that made the students feel more comfortable and less like they were in a super structured environment. Because as much as the classroom is meant to be structured, it also needs to be a place where students feel relaxed enough to focus. But her glare would make them stop talking almost instantly. One thing I would probably do is maybe assign punishment for those few students who talked out of turn too often. Possibly like another page on their essay or something. Her classroom learning technique was very self-contained. The students mostly just did their own work quietly. She always gave instructions for the assignment verbally and allowed her students to ask questions before beginning their work. This allowed the students to fully grasp the assignment and not interrupt their thought process while they were doing the assignment by asking questions. I would probably implement more group activities to engage the students better, but otherwise her classroom learning technique was impeccable, and it worked really well for the advanced students. For learning activities, Miss Medlin would begin the class every morning with the reading and repetition of the students' vocabulary words for the week and a short discussion about the day's topic, and let the students bring up questions about assignments they had already begun working on. She would also let the students discuss amongst themselves about how their assignment applied to what was going on in the real world. One project I saw them do was a Glogster, and it was basically like a virtual poster board. They were told to read a nonfiction book and make one of these poster boards about the book and about what they had learned, something cool or interesting they thought that they found interesting in the book, and make a presentation on that. They had to present in front of class, and I feel like creating the project based on the book made them pay more attention to the books and analyze them better. The only thing I would change for the activities is doing more group activities to get the students to socialize with each other more. Being advanced students, a lot of them were quiet and didn't want to socialize. They wanted just to do their schoolwork, which is important, but at the same time, they still need to learn their people skills for the real world. Her classroom climate was very friendly and respectful. Miss Medlin didn't treat her students as if she were their superior, even though she was. She treated them all as if they were her equals, her friends. She would greet them each morning with, "Hey, how's your day going? How's this situation you were telling me about last week? How are you feeling? Is everything okay?" Casual talk. And it made the students have more respect for her because she showed respect for them. And I feel like that makes students more open to learning from their teachers, is when they like them better. I at least know that was true for me. The only problem with this was that a couple of students treated her a little too much like a friend and not enough like a teacher. So they didn't show enough respect. They pretty much just treated her as an equal, which is good to an extent, but they do still need to have that certain level of respect and, need to listen to her. There were not a whole lot of students who resisted learning because of the advanced class. However, there were a couple of students who talked too much. In her second class of the day, there were about four or five students who would just talk and talk and talk. They mostly stayed on topic, but every now and then they would drift away and they would talk loudly, like across the room to each other, and that distracted the other students. However, when I talked to Miss Medlin about it, I asked her if there was anything she thought contributed to them speaking out, and she said that those students who talked too much were actually the ones with the better grades, the ones with the higher test scores. She said that the one girl who interrupted her class almost every day by getting food out of her bag very loudly and eating it in the middle of class, she said that her mom and another mother of a different student were very involved in their lives. They made their lunches every day for school. Even though she was eating in the middle of class, it was always healthy stuff, never any junk food. Cucumbers, tomatoes, celery, healthy snacks, rather than a bag of chips. And so Miss Medlin didn't mind too much, especially since it kept the student focused. And she said she believes that the parents being more involved with that student helped her with her test scores, helped her like school more, helped her not treat it so much as a prison as students tend to do these days. Miss Medlin's teaching approach was mostly traditional. She did not use any textbooks, but she did do a lot of paper assignments. They did work occasionally with Chromebooks on individual projects, but I never observed them doing any group work. I feel like that's pretty much the only thing I would change about her classroom. Her teaching style, her love for her students, her love for teaching, it was awesome. You could tell that she really likes her job, and there's only a certain amount of social activity you can get high schoolers to do. With advanced students, they want to work at their own pace. They want to do their own assignments. They want to finish with that class's work and continue on with another class's work, or work ahead. And the individual assignments did help a lot with that. It allowed them to work at their own pace, so that they wouldn't be held back by other students who work slower. And other than, getting those quiet students to be a little more social, there's not a thing that I would change about her class. It was just amazing. It was an honor to observe her and to learn from her. Thank you.